All right. Hey, everyone. Good to see you here. First Warning Meteorologist Andrew Michael. We're getting this live weather chat started off. Again, the date tonight is the 9th of February, 2014. Current time is 8:33 p.m. I want to move my jacket over there because that was bothering me. Sitting on that with that little nub. But again, good to see you guys here. Get your questions started on the Ustream. Again, for anybody that's just joining this tonight, looks like we have 15 people and it keeps going up. So for anybody that's just joining, easiest way of getting a hold of me is on Twitter. If you guys have any weather questions, tweet those to me at AndrewWSYX6, and I can get those responses real quick with Twitter. Twitter, it's instantaneous. Social Stream, it takes about a minute or two, but if you guys post the questions there, I can respond to that. Eric asking, do you think there will be school for Columbus Catholic tomorrow? I think my opinion, and this again is my opinion, the school districts will have their own call, is I think that there will be some closings, but more schools will do 2-hour delays. I'm looking at it right now. Athens City is on a 2-hour delay. I take that back. Athens City is closed tomorrow. I'm going through the ones that are closed. Athens City is closed. Morgan Local closed. Nelsonville York City closed. Noble Local closed. Scioto closed. Southern Local closed. Waverly City closed. Wellston closed. Wellston City closed. And Trimble Local closed. So it seems that the schools that are closing are far southern Ohio. So we're looking at Pike County. We're also talking about, I think Ross County was included in that, and Athens County. So it looks like far southern Ohio, probably because they've had to deal with a little bit more ice from the storm that came through late last week. They're probably just not done getting that cleared up, unfortunately. So that's why it seems that right now the majority of the schools that are closing seem to be the schools that are further down to the south. All right. So Anthony asking, are we getting a lot more snow anytime soon? The answer to that is no, not really. Actually, today I'll show you guys the records what we have over here. So let me pull this and get the scenes pulled up. So today here in Columbus, we saw 1.9 inches of snow, which we were calling for 1 to 2 with some pockets of a little bit more. So I want to show you this real quick. And this is how much snow we have seen per each month. So you can see here that we are, right now, February, we are over a foot of snow in February so far. And I'm going to take that down just a little bit so the volume's not quite as loud. So how does that pan out for us as far as how much snow we've seen compared to other years? Well, here are the records, and we are currently up to number 6. So this is the 6th snowiest winter Columbus has ever seen since they started recording these snowfall totals. And you can see number 1 up here back in 1909. And a lot of these other ones have actually been fairly recently. But yeah, this is now the 6th snowiest winter that we have seen here in Columbus. And as far as it melting, we are not going to be seeing any melting anytime soon. We're looking at temperatures staying below freezing for most of the 7-day forecast until we get to about Thursday. Thursday will finally warm up a little bit. Some people are asking again about schools closing. I think a lot of schools will start with a delay, and then we'll have to see whether they switch to close or not. We're getting a lot of delays in right now. Let me just ballpark it real quick for you. So Nelsonville, York. Let me see here. So it's 14, 28. Looks like we have about 3 dozen delays and closings on our website right now that I'm looking at on abc6onyourside.com. Looks like we have about 3 dozen school delays or closings. So there's a lot coming in, and they're still filtering in too. So Anthony asking, do you think Columbus City will close if it gets too cold? The low temperatures this week, they're going to be warmer than what they were last week. So, and the wind's actually not looking like they're going to be super strong with what we have coming up this week. As a matter of fact, I'll just throw out the wind chills that we're going to have both for the next couple of mornings starting tonight and then for Monday morning. Let me pull up that site real quick. So I'm going to pull up with all of the wind chills exactly. So tonight we're looking at a wind chill of about 1 below. The temperature, we're calling for 6 degrees for the low tonight. The winds will be enough to get down to about maybe 0 to 5 below 0. Tuesday morning will be colder. I'm going with a low of 0 degrees. I guess it'd be 1 degree, 0 degrees, thinking out loud. And the winds there are looking very, very, very light for tomorrow night with a low of 0. We'll probably only get winds of maybe 2 or 3 miles per hour, so the wind chill not a big factor. Same for Wednesday morning. We're going to get back down. I have a low of 2, and I think that the wind chill about 5 below 0, about that. So with these cold temperatures that we're going to see this week, the big thing that we're not seeing, like when we had the polar vortex, if you guys remember that, the winds were very, very, very strong. We were looking at winds between about 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's what really drove down our wind chills so cold that time. But the next 3 days, again, 6 for the low tomorrow, 0 for Tuesday for the low, and 2 degrees for the low on Wednesday. In each of those days, the winds are going to be very light. So that's why I think that school delays or closings probably not as likely this week because of the temperatures alone. So that's my thought. All right. So Susan asking, where are these 50-degree temperatures that you are talking about? So what I will do is I will pull up the models to show you, because it's not this week, it's actually next week, and the models have been very persistent, showing that we very likely will get back into the 50s next week. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. And I will show you this. Let's see here. So let's extend this, pop this down, and I will pull up what our temperatures are expected to be. Again, this week's looking pretty cold. We will get back. Our normal for this time of the year is 39 degrees for the high. We're going with a high of 38 on Thursday. So Thursday looks to be actually the warmest day that we have had in a long time. But let me pull up this forecast map to show you what we can expect. That's Thursday, Friday. Friday's looking a little bit colder next week now. So I'll pull this up and I'll flip this camera around so that way you guys can see it. All right, let's see here. So this will be Thursday afternoon, next Thursday afternoon. And you guys can see here when we start getting these oranges are 50s. So this is the 50-degree line right here. And this would be not this coming Thursday. Again, this is on a week and a half. So this is all 50 degrees across the southern half of Ohio. Whoops, I missed it there. There we go back. Let's go there. So you can see here, this is all 50-degree area over Ohio. So we are looking at getting into the 50s, which I think a lot of people probably pretty excited about, to see the 50s finally returning. So yeah, it looks like next chance for 50s will be next week. Eric asking, how was Disney on Ice? Disney on Ice was great. My sister, she loves Disney. She was very excited to go to Disney on Ice, so I was very happy to go. Her, my wife, my brother also went as well. We kind of took her, so it was a lot of fun. Joshua asking, when can we expect warmer temperatures? The warmest temperature this week will be Thursday with a high of 38. I'm keeping an eye on Saturday. Right now I went with a high of 35, but yesterday I was going with a high of 39. It looks like it's going to be a little bit colder on Saturday. What's coming through Thursday night and Friday looks to bring a little bit more of a cold punch, so that's why I cooled Saturday off just a little bit for the upcoming week. So Pedro's asking, when will all the snow start melting? Not until we at least get into Thursday, because we're going to stay below freezing for the next few days. It's going to be very, very, very cold. So make sure to wear those layers for the coming days, because it is going to be very chilly outside. So I'm going to check out Twitter real quick. Again, for anybody that's just joining this chat, again, we do these on every Sunday night at 8:30. So again, for everyone that's just joining, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you guys want to ask your questions, you guys can tweet those to me. Andrew WSYX6 is the easiest way to tweet those to me. And if you guys are watching this too, you guys can see down at the bottom there in the description, it has there twitter.com/Andrew WSYX6. And I can get those questions on Twitter just like that. Matter of fact, Dylan just tweeted me, said, how's your night so far? My night's going pretty well. I had scouts in here earlier. We had scouts from Hilliard. Some Cub Scouts, they came, they visited. It was a lot of fun. And then I worked a little bit on the graphic. We're changing our 7-day forecast just a little bit, and I'm in charge of doing a lot of the graphics around here. So I'm working on getting the new 7-day forecast up to speed because we have to do some changes, a little bit of an overhaul to it to change the look of it. A lot of work goes into just one graphic and making sure it looks good every single time. So I've been kind of tweaking that and adjusting it. So, all right. Let's see here. See if there are any other questions coming in on Ustream. Don't see anything here. We should post, let's see. Let's go over to Facebook, see if there are any questions on Facebook. Refresh that real quick. So again, if you guys have any questions, post them in that social chat. Or if you guys want to just tweet me, Andrew WSYX6. If you guys are on Facebook, you guys can do that as well. Just search for Andrew Michael, and I can respond to those. All right, so let's see. Let me guess. Columbus police are calling off school tomorrow, right? That's from Nick Sheets. How much snow is Chillicothe post get? I'm guessing that's supposed to get. We're done with the accumulating snow as we head through the next few days. Matter of fact, all the snow basically is pulling out of here now. We are done with the snow at least until we get to Thursday night and Friday. Anything they see outside right now is just going to be flurries. We're not going to see any more accumulating snow. So Anthony asking, how do you use the Penn State e-wall? So basically, when you look on there, you can see all the different forecast models. They offer a lot of different things, whether you're looking at 6-hour precip totals, whether you're looking at cloud forecast. But to really get into the depth of looking at stuff on the e-wall, you really have to go through some schooling for that. Explaining it over a Ustream is impossible. I went through several classes just to understand models and understand what I'm looking at on there. So it's a great tool for anybody that's a weather buff, anybody that really can kind of understand what the forecast models are showing you there. And if you do click on one, like for instance, I'll pull up one of them, they'll say up at the top, like the 500 millibar height vortex or the vortices. They'll kind of explain there at the top or bottom of each image what you're looking at. So just basically looking at the different forecast models. That's a good question, but as far as explaining it, it's kind of hard. So let's make a poll. What should I do for the poll? I know I asked last time when I did with Bill Kelly if you guys are sick of the winter yet. I'm trying to think. If anybody has a good poll question, that's what we should do. If you guys have a good idea, something that would get a lot of people talking here, give me a good poll idea for tomorrow morning. Maybe we'll do this. I'm typing in the poll now. Awful. All right, sorry, I'm typing in the poll here. Snow covered, and then my last option will be sheet of ice. All right, so I just posted the poll here. We'll get to see what you guys are saying on there about what the roads are like where you guys are. So you guys can respond to the poll, and I will tell you guys the results. I don't know if you guys can see that. I've tried watching it before, and I don't know if I can see the results or not. So let's see here. Yeah, so it does show. So it looks like main streets are good, side streets are awful. So kind of cool to see what everyone's saying on there. So it looks like a lot of the main streets are pretty decent for most people. All right, so let's see here if there's any other questions coming in on the chat. Eric asking, are you doing behind the scenes tonight? I probably will for the 10 and 11. I can't guarantee that because I'm working on some graphics here, so my webcam will be kind of tied up with some other stuff, but we'll try. Can't guarantee it. All right, so let's see what else is coming on here right now. Don't see anything new on Twitter. Again, Andrew WSYX on Twitter. Firefox High School in Muskingum County just closed. Or I'm sorry, no, I take that back. 2-hour delay for Firefox High School in Muskingum County. So again, 2-hour delay for Muskingum County's Firefox High School. All right, let's see here. See if there's anything new coming in on Facebook. Not seeing anything new here. Let's wait till that fills in. Nope, no new questions there on Facebook. We'll go back over to the Ustream then and see what this is saying. So this poll looks like not too bad. All the roads are horrible for one vote there. So again, yeah, it seems like everything's, for the most part, most of the roads don't seem too bad. But I'm sure the 2-hour delay tomorrow morning is maybe to hope those temperatures warm up a little bit, even though it's really not going to warm up much. But again, it's driving on those roads out there. They're pretty treacherous. So I'm sure giving them a couple of extra hours so that way the bus drivers can actually see where they're going. And I believe, if I heard correctly, sorry, I'm putting on some chapstick. If I heard correctly, next year, instead of doing days, they're going to do hours. So if school just use a bunch of 2-hour delays, they'll add up to equal one full day off of school. So that's going to change things big time because, I mean, if you think about it, just think about it. So when I went to school, let's say we used all of our calamity days. Here in Ohio, sometimes we have fog, especially in those outlying rural areas. Sometimes you have fog where you have the 2-hour delay. You could have that, maybe, let's say you have 4 2-hour delays because of the fog. You have another 6 2-hour delays because of, you have 6 2-hour delays because of the snow. So you're looking at, 10? So we're looking at 10 days, 2-hour delays. So that's 20 total hours that you're cutting out. And an average school day is 7 hours. So you're looking at about 3 days extra that you will be losing because of these 2-hour delays if they switch to the hours. Again, that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually truth or not. Maybe if you guys know that, you guys can let me know. But I heard that they will be switching to hours possibly next year, which will really affect when schools are going to be closing or whatnot. All right, watching Toy Story 3 on ABC. I see the school closings and 2-hour delays from Eric. Yep, we have those scrolling right now. Toy Story's on ABC 6 right now. So yeah. And looking here, it looks like we have still seeing a lot more schools rolling in. Just a lot of 2-hour delays here is the big thing. We're seeing a lot of 2-hour delays so far. All right, so let's jump back over here to Facebook, refresh that, see if there's anything new on there. Again, if you guys are on Twitter, Andrew WSYX6, or if you guys are here in the viewing this, you guys can post your thoughts, questions, comments, whatever. You can fill those out. So let's make another poll here. We're going to do another poll since that poll's kind of done. We're going to do ask about frostquakes. Bradley just asking maybe you should do a poll about frostquakes. So, and let me see here. I want to save this. I want to save these polls. I like these polls. So let's do, let's save this. All right, so let's do a new poll. Stop polling. Create new poll. I don't think we haven't had frostquakes recently, but we'll post it on here. So frostquakes is when temperatures get so cold, and like I said, we have not been that cold. Normally you have to get about 10 below zero. Normally if you have really warm temperatures, all of the soil on the surface is very warm. When you get super cold very fast, like when we drop down to 10 below zero, that's when you get the ground to expand, and then eventually it pops, and that's how you get frostquakes. So we'll post it up here, see if anybody's heard any frostquakes recently. But our temperatures have not been conducive to frostquakes, and that normally is a big pop. With what we normally have been seeing is probably some little tiny creaks in your home that you might have heard. Normally when you have a frostquake, you have several square miles where everyone reports this gigantic boom. And I haven't had any reports of where multiple people have all said at the exact same time, hey, I heard it at this time. And a lot of people, when you have a true frostquake, and there was one back in western Ohio back in, that would be the winter of 2011. So about 3 years ago now, maybe 2012. No, 2011. There was a frostquake then, and it was all of Darke County heard this big boom. Even some places in Randolph County heard this huge boom, and so yeah, it looks like we have about 5 votes no, 2 I think so, yes. For yes has 2 votes currently. So let's see here. What else is going on? Let's check out the chat, see if there's any other questions coming in there. Hello, Lon. Is flooding a concern with when all of the snow finally melts from CW 1987? I think it is. It's definitely something to keep in mind. The big question will be is how will the snow be melting? If we're just dealing with straight, just warm temperatures and no precipitation or no rain, I don't think flooding will be a huge issue then because it's going to be a slow melt. If we see an inch of rain dropped on top of this, a lot of places I know outside here of our station, we've got at least probably a foot of snow, if not, or at least close to that. If we get a full inch of rain on top of what's outside, what's outside right now is equivalent to about an inch and a half of rain. So 1 inch of rain versus the inch and a half outside, we're looking at 2.5 inches potentially as what would be trying to get to the rivers and everything. So yeah, flooding would be a big concern. The big question would be is once we get above freezing, how quickly we get above freezing and what we deal with when we get above that freezing mark. So we're looking to get above freezing a couple of days later this week, but we're not seeing any heavy rain. I think that Thursday we'll get above freezing, but snow moves in Thursday night once we fall back below freezing, and it'll stay all snow, so I'm not seeing any rain there. So Susan asking, when is the next chance for a large amount of snow? The next chance for a large amount of snow looks to be, let me pull it up here. I want to check the last model to see if anything has really changed. I think next Saturday night and Sunday, the models have been getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Right now it looks like Thursday night, maybe just a dusting, and then Saturday night into Sunday, maybe an inch or two. It's weakened a lot. So keeping our eyes on it, but right now they're both looking fairly weak, which is good because I think that a lot of people are kind of done with snow, at least for a little bit. I wouldn't mind a couple of 50-degree days and then bring back some more snow, but it's just messy out there, and there's so many schools closing. Like I said, a lot of schools in Pike County and also Athens County. A lot of those schools down to the south are closing because those side streets where it's hilly, it's very hard for anybody to travel on those. So that's why I think we definitely need to get above freezing so some of these kids can get back to school in southern Ohio where it's so hilly. So I don't see a huge warm up anytime soon other than maybe Thursday getting to 38. And then Thursday night and then Saturday night could deal with just some very light accumulations of snow. So no huge snow in the foreseeable future. Jared asking, am I a Walking Dead fan? I am. I will be watching it on DVR later tonight, so do me a favor and do not post any spoilers. Do you do ABC 6 and Fox 28 and GDC in the place you are in? Because on Google Earth it said Fox and ABC were different places. Yes, we do ABC. We do everything right here in the studio behind me. Good Day Columbus is over here onto the side. This is the anchor desk where they do the ABC and Fox shows, the evening newscast. So we are all in one building right here. So yeah, everything is done in this one studio. And if you guys see behind me, see that big green wall? That's our new green screen. It's a brand new one. They're supposedly moving it over tomorrow because the old green wall is right there. You can see this little sliver where my finger is. So they're moving this big green wall. We have a new one that's moving over there. So we're getting a new green screen tomorrow. So that's kind of exciting, new green screen. So what am I seeing is, what I am seeing is that on the 18th, temperatures rising above freezing. The start of spring. Is this the start of spring, I'm assuming? I think that we will be, zombies will die. Probably not. There hasn't been very many zombies dying lately. It's more battles between the humans, intra-human battles. So Lon's asking, is spring here for good? I do not think so. I think that we will be dealing with another cold blast of temperatures heading into March. I mean, I don't think that we're going to be out of the clear. We're definitely not in the clear yet because March is historically can bring some very cold temperatures, and I think that we will see that as well. What about people who live kind of farther away and all those sheets of ice in random places on the roads? That's from Elena. So I don't quite understand the questions there. What about people who live kind of further away? Do me a favor, Elena. Tweet me that again. I can't understand what the question was about there. It just says, what about people who love... Oh. Who love... Oh, sorry. Let me read this word for word. What about people who love kind of farther away and all those sheets of ice on random places of the road? I think that's just asking, what about people that live out there in the rural areas? Yeah, where there's sheets of ice, it's just a problem for anybody out there. So, again, that's why a lot of these schools are doing 2-hour delays, if not closing already, just because it's just so icy out there. Eric asking, why are you changing the green screen? The reason we need one that's wider. The one that we have right now is only 10 feet wide. We're doing 16 feet wide. And a lot of the reason is because, I mean, news is in 16:9 now. And the one thing, especially for me, because I'm 6'2", I'm a tall guy. But in order for them to shoot me, they have to, I look so big on TV, at least in my opinion. And I would love it if they widened out the view a little bit and I wasn't just so gigantic as far as so tall on the screen. So it'll be really nice. That way they can kind of adjust it a little bit better. When we have scouts on, like what we had today when we had the Cub Scouts on, trying to squeeze them in, and you have to keep in mind that the outside edges some people don't see when they're watching in 4:3. So 16:9, if you guys are watching this, is like all the way. Adjusting my hands here. So 4:3 would be like right here. As a matter of fact, let me do this. If I cut this off, it switches there. Boom. It like zooms in. But it's 16:9, it keeps it a lot wider. So anyways, the reason we're doing that is so we can shoot it a lot wider. Peter asking, will there be any snow in March? I think it's very likely that we will see snow in March. Our forecast models do not go out that far. They only go out to the 25th of February. But the pattern we've been seeing, I don't see any stopping this snow anytime soon. So I think we will definitely be seeing snow in March. All right, so let me check out Facebook. If you guys have any other questions, again, send those on here. Otherwise, we'll probably end this a little bit early tonight. I have that weather, or I have to do the radio hit here in a little bit. But again, if you guys have any weather questions, send me those, and I'm going to check out Facebook one final time. No new comments on there. Twitter, nothing new on there. Ustream chat, nothing new on there. Let's check out the poll. So let's see. Looks like 8 people saying no, they have not heard any frost quakes recently. And 3 say they think so, and 2 voting yes. So, not a whole lot, but cool. All right, let's see if there's anything new coming in on the chat here. So, I don't see anything right now. And I'll show you guys what we're doing with the 7-day forecast. Let me save my show here. What I am tweaking, it's a work in progress. There's a lot that goes into tweaking this. So far, I've spent about 3 hours on it, and it's still not done. It should be done maybe in about the next half an hour's worth of work. So let me open up the scene, and I will show you what it looks like. So our old 7-day forecast looks a lot like, open a new tab. Oh, did I just, is this still going? Move to a new window. All right, here we go. So I'm going to pull this over here and pull up the 7-day forecast. So that way I can show you guys what our current 7-day forecast looks like and what the new one will be changed to. So let's see here. I'm going to pull this out. And here is our current 7-day forecast. And you notice there at the bottom, each of these low temperatures, like this would be Monday's low temperature. This would be Tuesday's low temperature. This would be Wednesday's low temperature, so Wednesday morning. But what we're wanting to do is tweak that so that way to kind of help tell the weather story, especially when we have falling temperatures throughout the day. Like let's say, I know this is kind of not an instance, but where it's 28 and 30. Let's say the afternoon it's going to be colder than the morning. It's kind of hard to tell the story there, and I'm sorry that's out of focus. So here's what we're tweaking here. This will be the new 7-day forecast. And so the days, and again, I have to tweak this. See, like the 19, I have to clean it up a little bit. But it'll be in between the days, so that way it kind of goes back and forth. And that way it kind of helps tell the story a little bit better. Again, you guys are seeing this behind the scenes But just to give you an idea, and I want to show you down below here all of the stuff that is involved, because this is just some of the stuff. So these are all of the layers that I have to change and tweak all these graphics for, and I'll scroll through these, and this is not even expanding them all the way. But you can see here all of these special effects that I have to go and tweak just to get the 7-day forecast together, and there's even a lot more that I can expand from that. You see each one of these will expand even further. So there's a lot of stuff there's just tons of stuff that I have to go through and tweak all of these. So again, that's the new 7-day forecast. That's what I'm going to be working on tonight, tweaking it, getting it ready, since I am the graphics guru for the weather department. All right, let's see here. Gerald saying, just want to thank you for the Ustream show. No problem, Gerald. Thanks for stopping by. Love to see this. How do you know if you are in HD? From Eric. We have HD at our station, and I know that like we broadcast in HD. As far as what you're seeing at home, if you're watching it on a TV that is HD, it'll look stretched, or there's black lines on the side of the bar here. Like if you're watching, if this would be your TV at home, let me pull my hand here. You would see black lines here on your TV that go on the side. So if you're watching in HD, it'll just look much crisper, much clearer. So that's the big difference. Jared saying he's out. Walking Dead is on. Thanks for stopping by, Jared. And I'm going to check Twitter one more time, see if there are any questions. Roger asking, when can we expect a warm-up? We will get up to 38 degrees for the high on Thursday, and that looks to be one of the warmest days for a little while, but we are talking about getting back into the 50s. Looks like 50s will be returning as we head into next week. So not this upcoming week, but heading into, let me get the dates here for you. So heading into like the 19th and 20th, we'll get back into the 40s, if not the 50s. So it will get warmer, but not for a little while. We're going to be cold this week, especially Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Very cold in the morning. All right, so I think I'm going to jump off here. Thanks for everyone that stopped by. Again, if you guys have any other questions, you guys can always leave those here in the social stream. You can just type in your questions there, and I will answer those. Normally, at the start of the next Ustream, next Sunday night, I'll answer those right off the bat, so you guys can leave your questions there. But again, thanks for everyone stopping by, asking your questions, and we will do this again same time, same place next week, right here on Ustream. Again, thanks for everyone stopping by. If you guys have any other questions, find me on Facebook. Just search Andrew Michael, and on Twitter, that's the easiest way, Andrew WSYX6. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a great rest of the evening, and have a great week ahead. See you guys later.